So just over a minute away until the start of the event final here in Dubai. 60 seconds away now. Who will claim the first event at the Rolex SailGP Championship? And it's just about on, Stevie. 3 boats now will battle it out for top honors.
Yeah, well, the Rolex pole predictor's got Fletcher in the perfect position on board Emirates Great Britain at the moment, but I think what we're going to see here is a 2-boat battle for the bottom end of the start line, more towards the top of our screen. Left-hand side, keep your eyes on the black foils. Burling, he said to make a plan with 10 seconds to go. He's made it with 40 seconds to go. He is coming in hot, and our pole predictor likes that at the moment. Up there on the foils now. Right now, it's a battle between United States and Great Britain in the middle of the line. It's all about the timing here as they come back. Burling's fast, New Zealand are fast. How are the other boats going to react to this as we come into the line? They've wound it up on the black foils. Great Britain turns towards the line. United States show us the favourites right now, but it's all about timing. Watch for the line to turn white in 5 seconds' time. 3 seconds, and we're about to go racing here in Dubai. Perfect from Burling at the bottom of the line. New Zealand are going to lead from here. What a start from the black foils.
Pressure on here, okay? Yep.
Speed absolutely kills as New Zealand comes off the line at full speed, and now it is on for Emirates GBR and the USA to try to track him down.
Oh, I mean, they all started so well, but the boat speed of the Kiwi boat there, they looked at least 2, 3, 4 kilometres an hour faster when the gun went, and the Mark 1 sprint leader is New Zealand at Mark 1.
7 legs on this one. It's New Zealand, US, Emirates, GBR battling it out to see who will take the opening event here in the 2025 season.
2, 1, lock. 3, 2, 1. Heavy foiling, rudders on a little.
Okay, nice foiling manoeuvre there. Had to pop a little bit more lift on the rudders then to keep the boat up in the air. Just a change mid-manoeuvre there, Burling cooling. Sorry, Took was cooling there to Leo Takahashi. First boat to manoeuvre Emirates Great Britain. The United States look like they've dropped out of breeze a bit here. Our live SailGP insights right now, brought to us by the Oracle Cloud, so that the speed, well, it favours Great Britain at the moment, but strategically, New Zealand like it, and they're setting up for a left turn at the bottom here. It's going to be tight in the pack, but I love where the Kiwis are going right now.
Oh, changed their mind.
First manoeuvre, just trying to keep the boat speed in, I think, is the move here, Todd. They want to stay fast. Everyone else is probably going to have to follow. United States might be able to turn to the left, but they're going to be slow, just trying to sneak across in front of Emirates Great Britain.
So at gate 2, the DP World Gate, it is New Zealand out in front. Emirates GBR decides to follow the Kiwis, and US SailGP will have the right side of the course to themselves.
They will, and they made a nice gain out that side last time. Lisa, last time we saw the United States SailGP team make a real gain with that left turn. I'm surprised the Kiwis let them go there. What are you seeing out on the water?
I do think it's been quite strong this left-hand side. I know there's been big gains on the right-hand side in terms of pressure, but there's a really nice angle to the mark as they head out this way. Interestingly, Great Britain have decided to go back. I think they were getting a little bit of bad air of New Zealand, but USA were the ones that stayed on the foils for longer, so that's going to be a huge distance gain for them.
Next cross will be fairly crucial here, I think, Todd. We got Burling manoeuvring out on the boundary. Right of way is going to be with Canfield. Shows him first at the minute, but what can the United States team do? Can they get foiling? They're up and foiling on board the United States. This is a massive advantage. They have the right of way. They will be in the lead at this early stage of the race.
Emirates GBR has to dip behind the Americans, and here comes Peter Burling trying to get his boat up and foiling as well.
He's going to try and get up and foiling, but he's going to have to avoid the United States. Canfield will be in the lead halfway up this leg. Great call by the United States there. The Kiwis didn't quite be accurate enough at the bottom. They're going to struggle here a little bit, and it's Great Britain. They're sailing out to wind on that right-hand side. That's a huge turn-up for the United States.
I agree. Heading line here. Stand by. Yep. And go on board. Very light. Big header. 3, 2.
Okay, we're on board with the United States there. They're saying about header. We can see the wind had turned to the left. We're going to go back to the start.
Yep.
Looking at on board the black foils here.
Oh, guys. 100% here. We're going to the boat.
Okay, well, he's rope-a-doped in there as he went to the other end of the line. Burling came flying through, but look at him foiling at the gun. But, well, this race is panning out that the start is not everything.
Right.
That is for sure. It was perfect by the black foils there, but they did make a mistake at gate 2. They've lost the lead, but there's plenty of racing left here on the water as we come back with the fleet. United States must keep clear of Great Britain. Great Britain in the lead, but it's going to be the black foils with the right-of-way next. The lead is changing all the time here. I like where the Kiwis have gone. There does seem to be more wind on that right-hand side of the course. Can United States make the right turn with no more manoeuvres? Oh, he's trying to sneak round there, Canfield. He's trying to turn the boat towards the wind. He's off the foils. Emirates Great Britain will be faster. Burling will split the course left. It's all about who's found the wind after gate 3. Wow, all the boats are going to be so tight here, Todd.
Breeze inside, press down into.
Here, Hannah Mills talking with Dylan Fletcher on Emirates GBR. Can they get to the inside of the US SailGP team? Well, the Americans are up and foiling, so here we go.
Yeah, well, they should be putting disturbed wind onto the British ship. The British got foiling faster. Use that speed. They're on the inside here. I like where the Kiwis are going because they've got a bit more space out there. Lisa, it seems so changeable on the water. Great Britain moves away. United States are going to be following them. Do you think the Kiwis have got a shot?
I think the Kiwis are coming back really strong. As we've seen here in Dubai, the patches of wind, they're really small, and they've brought this really nice one all the way down the course and about to do the foiling manoeuvre in that foiling jibe. But from where I'm sitting, it actually looks like Emirates Great Britain are going to have the advantage here.
Oh, they've got a good advantage, Lisa, that's right. And we just saw a penalty on the United States. They got a 60-metre boundary penalty. They were trying to stretch the course, but I think that was a bit of an unforced error, really. Emirates manoeuvred away first, so Emirates Great Britain in the lead. New Zealand must keep clear of the United States SailGP team, and well, we saw how crucial the decision was at the bottom of the course here. Great Britain setting themselves up to turn left. That was the way to go last time. Can Emirates Great Britain hold off the charging black foils? Kiwis are going to look to dive on the inside at gate 4.
So on the cross, US SailGP team, they make their way to the right side as Emirates GBR and the Kiwis opt for the left, and here come the Americans. Again, they will follow around.
Kiwis are going to dive on the inside. I think they've got room as they go round. Advantage New Zealand. There's going to be a protest from Great Britain.
Look how close.
They've got to keep clear. Black foils have to manoeuvre away. Wow, that was so tight. Slow turn. Green flag from the umpires there. Great Britain had to give space to New Zealand. Aggressive from Fletcher. Brilliant from Burling, and Canfield's on the back foot as we round that final bottom gate. They've got 2 more legs to go, Todd.
So up to the top of the course, then back down, then the right hand to the finish line. There you see the Rolex chasing time, and it is Emirates GBR and New Zealand locked in a great battle. Don't forget about US SailGP and Taylor Canfield and company. They are coming to the mix with some speed now.
Yeah, New Zealand up and foiling here, Todd. The Rolex chasing time there shows a slight gain to New Zealand at the moment over Great Britain. It's down to 6 seconds. Great Britain's still not foiling, so all the time New Zealand are foiling and Great Britain are not. It's gains to the black foils. Look at the speed on that. Burling, absolute perfection on that downwind leg. If I was a coach of the other teams, I'd be just drawing into the Oracle Cloud for all the data I could get on the Kiwis after this. Still only 1 boat in the fleet foiling at the moment, and that's the black foils. Little replay here, it's so tight. We're on board New Zealand as he dives inside.
We're going to have GBR here. It's a little fast mode now. Hey, starting to turn. Are we overlapped?
But it looked like they were overlapped to me. That's why New Zealand had to turn away at the mark there to keep clear, but they'd done enough at that point. They had dived inside. We see how tight it is there at the mark. Emirates Great Britain must give them speed, space to round the mark, but as soon as the back of that New Zealand boat leaves the mark there, it's right of way Great Britain. Burling has to turn away, and there you go. Well, he certainly milks it to the absolute limit. It's a slow turn away, but it was enough to keep the umpires happy.
Back to racing action, and here's how it changes every moment. Now it's New Zealand with a 100-meter lead over US SailGP in second place as Dylan Fletcher and Emirates GBR, they found themselves one of those patches that Lisa Darman has talked about on the course. It's just no breeze.
Yeah, they've won, and they're back up on the foils, though. Fletcher there, he's turned the boat, but he's directly behind the New Zealand boat and not on the foils. Huge advantage to the black foils at gate 5. They will turn right at the top of the course. They're going to sail downwind and then a right turn to the finish in front of the fans. What can Emirates Great... Oh, okay, there you go. Dylan said it for us. They're holding on. We look into the insights here. We can see the foiling time for USA. It's good, but unfortunately they've ended up sailing a bit too much distance on board there. So it's not all about foiling out here. It's so shifty, the wind. If you can minimise the distance as you get round this course, it can make a massive gain. And that's a big lead for Burling. Fletcher now, he's turned his eyes backward to try and defend that place from Canfield and the US SailGP team.
So it's the Kiwis, the black foils out in front. They had the best start. Can they hold on for one more leg? It's down to the bottom of the course here, then a right-hand turn to the finish line and the victory. Dylan Fletcher, Emirates GBR currently in second place. Taylor Canfield, let's see what he does. Does he roll the dice and see if he can't get another position?
Todd, I mean, I'm not sure what it is the black foils are doing, but downwind at this event, they have been absolutely magical. I put a lot of credit for that on Leo Takahashi, the flight controller, and Blair Tuke, the wing trimmer. I mean, Burling's sailing a tactical masterpiece with Liv Mackay, of course, but the boat speed they seem to have downwind is unbelievable on average. I say that and they fall off the foils, so they're not going to love me for that. Could be an opportunity for Emirates Great Britain, as we see here. The black foils are off the foils at the moment. They're looking to accelerate 30 kilometres an hour. That's the magic number. Great Britain manoeuvre. One last chance to attack.
Let's take a look at the Emirates fly time, and it goes the way of Britain right now. It's 70%, but they are in second place, and they are closing it down just a little bit. They've got just a short amount of time to get it done, Stevie. Do they have the speed?
Oh, they've nailed that last manoeuvre. They made a huge gain, but I think it's too little too late. Could be two more manoeuvres. Hannah Mills calls it. Two more manoeuvres for both boats. They've got to do a right turn at gate 6. The chasing time from Rolex is coming in the favour of New Zealand. New Zealand will make it with no more turns. This is going the way of the black foils.
And an early celebration for the Kiwis. Not quite there yet, but it's safe to say the Emirates winning moment goes the way of the black foils as New Zealand claims the first event of the 2025 season.
Well, celebrations for the black foils. They do love the Middle East.
And look at this, the battle now on for second place. So you've got Emirates GBR. They have to close it out, but look how fast Canfield's coming in.
Yeah, there was no room there. It's too tight. No room for Canfield in there. It looked to me like Emirates Great Britain went in early.
This is the umpires, penalty USA, not entitled to mark room, go behind GBR.
Yeah, there was no overlap as the British boat touched that yellow circle. Fletcher had really lined him up to suck him into that gap. So Emirates Great Britain will sail through. They will take second. Can't blame Canfield for trying.
I was going to say, you can't blame him for trying. What do you have to lose? One position? So instead of second, they get third, but a great move and a great charge by US SailGP. And as Taylor said, had to go for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's what it's all about. We're out in a race, aren't we? You've got to put it on the line. And the US SailGP team, well, they should be very, very proud with this event. Same for Emirates Great Britain, final in front of their fans there. Good performance from Dylan Fletcher, but I think everyone's seen where the bar's set.
Well, it was all said and done. The Kiwis were already celebrating their victory here at the Emirates Dubai Sail Grand Prix, presented by P&O Marinas. Emirates GBR, we just had a moment to get to know Dylan Fletcher, the Olympic gold medalist driver, stepping in for Sir Ben Ainsley. There's the rest of the crew. Stevie, there's a lot of Olympic hardware on there with Hannah Mills, the GOAT, with 2 gold medals of her own.
Yeah, she'll enjoy these shifty conditions, but I think it was Neil Hunter and Nick Hutton I'd have my eyes on there. Big grinders, a lot of horsepower, means they can get a very quick wing movement.
Heavy hitters across the board here as we take a look at Australia. Remember, they won 3 seasons in a row of SailGP, and across the board with the addition of Chris Draper, that's a powerful squad.
Yeah, I think Chris Draper's slotted in really well. And Tash Bryant, you know, she really loves these windy conditions. And on any foiling boat, she's pretty good. But again, Sam Newton up in the front there. Him and Kinley Fowler really bring that big horsepower into the grinding setup. So I think that boat speed, we shouldn't underestimate the fitness of the grinders, how important they are. 42 seconds to go. Well positioned is Dylan Fletcher for that optimum spot on the start line. The red start line there, the blue triangles where they'll be wanting to hit. But all they'll want's boat speed. Our Rolex pole predictor sits on board Slingsby's Australian boat with 25 seconds to go. All the boats are well spread out here. It's all going to come down to acceleration, execution from here. Australia first to turn the boat towards the line. Emirates Great Britain, well, 150 metres back with 15 seconds to go. Now they start to wind it up. 12 seconds to go. Spain late to turn. They attack Fletcher on board Emirates Great Britain. Tom Slingsby winds it up. Here come the Aussies. How's your timing, Tom Slingsby? Oh, it's perfect from Fletcher, it's perfect from Slingsby, but Slingsby's got the faster angle into Mark 1, and can he break the overlap? I think he will. They're absolutely flying on board Australia here.
Oh, and Dylan Fletcher goes right at him.
Oh, it's going to be a protest there. That's tight. I think the Australians have kept clear. Spain are tight on the inside, and Australia are going to lead around Mark 1 just with Emirates Great Britain in control tactically.
And the Rolex sprint leader, Australia, they have been serving up a masterclass on the waters here in Auckland.
They're close to the boundary here. It's going to come down to execution. The British boat has a slight wobble on that first manoeuvre. They're off the foil on board Great Britain. That's a disaster for the British. At this level, you cannot make that mistake. Spain have executed well, Australia have executed well, and Emirates Great Britain are going to be out the back.
Stevie, we've seen this movie before when you've got teams like Emirates GBR in Australia doing battle, and that lets the Spanish and Diego Botín slide back into the picture. They were in third at mark number 1, and now they are looking very good, just 100 meters behind the Aussies.
Yeah, but 100 meters at this stage of the race is a lot, and this Australian boat's been the form team. Spain will be set up to go right. Slingsby's going to match that. Fletcher's got to find something from here. I think now it's a case of, does that Australian boat, whatever that little gremlin was, has it cleared up? Does Slingsby feel confident, because the Australians are in pole position at gate 2, and all the other boats are going to be following them, which is absolutely perfect for them.
No surprise here, the Australians won 2 of the 7 fleet races to get to this point, but to Stevie's point, race number 7, they retired after only 2 legs, reporting problems on board. Looks like the shore crew did a great job getting them back and running here in the final.
Yeah, well, let's remember there's $400,000 up for the winner of this race, Todd, so there's plenty of motivation beyond just the overall points. Professional athletes they may be, but they'll still love that prize money, and it's going to come down to the really strong execution. Nice turn there, they tack the boat through the wind, brilliantly executed. Boat already heeled on top of them there. Draper, the wing trimmer, well, he's slotted into this team so well, absolutely seamless, and the Spanish are catching, but Australia, great controlling position at this point.
Emirates GBR dropping back to 3rd after that little skirmish with Tom Slingsby and the Australians. So now it's a match race within 100 meters between the 3-time champions, Australia, and the Spanish, going 1 and 2. Winner takes all here.
There we go, our Rolex chasing time shows there's just 7 seconds in it. They're really tied together here. See the different colours on the water there, Todd, the different textures to it. Shows there's really variable wind out there. Australia sailing into a lot of breeze right now, and expect to see them start accelerating. Draper says a header, that means it's taking them away from the mark, which strategically will be good news for them. Spain are going to lose a few meters to the Aussies here. Look at the speed difference as Australia hit that gust of wind.
Good angle, good angle.
Oh, that was a bit messy, that manoeuvre there. They didn't quite get that right. Good enough. Draper's happy.
Like a lolling header on the nose where you ain't their best early. Yeah, copy.
Flight controller Jason Waterhouse crosses over, and now the entire team on the right-hand side.
It's very calm on board, isn't it? Real calming voice from Chris Draper there. A lot of experience as a wing trimmer. Stepped away to do a bit of coaching last season, but Slingsby snapped him up when he heard he was free and he'd lost Carl Langford, and well, what a signing that seems to be right now.
At the bill. Nice, clean lap, you guys.
That's really all they need right now, Todd. Clean lap, just got to stay away. Over 200 metres ahead here, and let's be honest, they look faster, don't they? Spanish are doing a nice job. Great Britain struggling to find much option to get back in the race, and the Australians, well, it's theirs to lose from here.
So it's down, back up, and down again before the finish of this event final, and now it is Australia starting to pull away here on leg number 4.
Bingo. Nice angle touch.
Tash Bryant on the wheel now, steering out of that manoeuvre. Brilliant form from the Australians. 100% fly time. Look at that on the top of their wing, and they're just executing the best manoeuvres in the fleet at the moment. Don't want to jinx them. 407. Here we go. Come back to the start, and the Australians and the British were absolutely perfect, but it was Australia with the faster angle to Mark 1. They just kept clear of Fletcher, and maybe Dylan will be regretting that second little dig he took at the Australians after Mark 1, because it was brilliant from both boats. We're on board the Australian boat here. Here comes Great Britain, tries to push push Australia. Slingsby reacts, and now he's just clear ahead. I'm sure it was tight, but all was good from the umpires. On board Mark 1, what a view that is as we see how tight it is and the speed they come in. Just clear ahead there, and the British on the inside, but he needed to manoeuvre away a little earlier.
Back to live racing action at gate number 4, the DP World Gate. They split the course this time, so Australia going to that favor side, which they have used so many times before. Spain decides to go closer to the shore and right in front of the fans, and it's Emirates GBR in third.
Oh, you just know any time you get a split in the race like that as the leader, you're nervous. As soon as you get some separation, a change in the wind means that it could benefit that other team. So Spain right now, have they got more wind? To me, they look like they're going well. Let's come in. Here we go. The Oracle Cloud tells us their wind strength is pretty similar, but Spain are quicker at the moment. Tash Bryant's calling across to Australia by 1. It's a gain to Spain out of the bottom gate there. The split has paid off, but it's Australia now heading towards that windier side. Lisa, who's heading to the most breeze right now?
Well, Stevie, it's pretty hectic out here. I think there was a big gain by the Spanish team, so it's going to be neck and neck at this top gate.
There we go, the Rolex chasing time down to 4 seconds. Right of way will be with Australia if it's close when they come back together, but it could be a split again at the top gate, and it'll be all about who finds the most wind out of this top gate.
The gap keeps coming down, and Spain still believing that they can get the win and take down the mighty Australians. And here we go. It comes down to this final leg. This is like 5 of 7. They'll get to this gate, and then the race is on.
Yeah, the Spanish looked like they were in good wind there, Todd. I wouldn't be surprised to see another small gain to the Spanish here. They could be absolutely neck and neck. Right of ways with Australia. Our ladder lines show a 50-metre lead to Australia. I think it could be closer than that when they come together, but the Spanish are going to turn right. The water looks choppier that side. It's going to be higher risk. Big gain to Spain here. Can they dive on the inside? Could be a last-minute dip behind for Spain. No, they drop the board. They're going to try and dive inside. I'm not sure that's the right move. I do not sure that's the right move. He's going to try and force Australia wide. Oh, it's so tight. They've executed it well, but that was too aggressive for me. I think he should have split the course. Green from the umpires, no penalty. I think the Spanish should have gone the other way and tried to take the split there. That was a mistake for me.
So Diego Botín rolls the dice, and it comes up snake eyes there on that last gate. Stevie, they go to the other side. There's more pressure there, and now they split away.
Well, they've split away now, but I think they had the chance to just dip straight behind the Australians there. Anyway, very easy sat here from this booth. Diego clearly thought he had a shot at it. He tried it, but they just couldn't stick the manoeuvre. It's now just about, can the Australians do 2 more foiling manoeuvres to get round this final turning mark, and then it could be a victory in front of those Kiwi fans.
And look at the lead now, ballooning to 200 meters. Chasing time is 11 seconds. So Tom Slingsby and the Aussies, all they need to do is be clean around this last gate, and it's a straight shot to victory lane.
Yeah, they're going to make this, Todd. They're in 1 here, so it's just about the roundup. Beautiful downwind leg by the Aussies here. 2 300-meter gain. Here we go. Going to get to do it in front of the Kiwi fans.
And the Emirates fly time, 82% for Tom Slingsby and the Flying Roos as they bring it home. And there's the finish line. The sold-out crowd will bring them home. They'd rather see black foils, but they're going to see green and gold as they come to the line. The Emirates winning moment goes the way of the Australians.
Oh, well, they've been the form team of the event. They deserve that big celebration. We keep saying, up against... We've got to remember Spain are the defending champions. Right. That's going to mean a lot to Tom Slingsby. He's not won for a while. He's going to love that. Oh, something's gone wrong there. Too much cant put on by the foil controller. Joe Cardona there, that's a mistake, but it's not going to hurt them too much, but it did get Diego excited.
And they do bring it across safely, so Spain will finish in 2nd place, pick up 9 points on the season, and another strong showing. A top 3 finish at the event. Emirates GBR will finish in 3rd after they finish 2nd at the first event. And let's not forget, the next event just across the Tasman Sea for the KPMG Australia Sail Grand Prix Sydney. Tom will be looking to make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I thought Slingsby was the form boat over in Dubai, but they made a mistake on the Sunday. So they are form, they're fast, and yeah, they're going to love what they're doing right now.
So it's game face on for Tom Slingsby and company, as they have got to be considered the odds-on favorites to win this thing. But don't tell that to Giles Scott or Dylan Fletcher. 1 minute to go until the final is off the line here at the Rolex SailGP Championship in Sydney. This is the KPMG Australia Sail Grand Prix. And Stevie, tell you what, Tom Slingsby is probably the hottest sailor. They have done the best over the last 7 races. But I'm telling you what, Dylan Fletcher and Giles Scott just lurking in the grass, just waiting to pounce.
Well, that's right, the Australians will have a plan. But this is a race course where a plan's not really as good as it gets. That first contact with your enemy out here. Fletcher, he's coming for a late run at things here. I like where the Australians are positioned, but they're into a battle with Canada already. Dylan Fletcher's got the chance to play spoiler here. He's got to keep some space. Canada and Australia, oh, it's really tight there. Australia have got to keep clear. They're in a real fight with 16 seconds to go. Boat's going to fill up. This is opening the gap here for Fletcher. He's coming through fast. Middle of the line's the favoured place to be. 9 seconds to go. Britain are calling themselves late. 5 seconds, watching for the line to turn white. It's timing that counts right now. Oh, what a start. Fletcher's at absolute speed. On the inside, it's Canada. I think Emirates Great Britain are going to be able to lead at Mark 1 here.
Penalty Australia, relative Canada. Windward boat not keeping clear.
Oh, Slingsby's going to have to fight back from 3rd here. He's going to have to be last round Mark 1, and then it's going to be a fight back. But for Emirates Great Britain, the ball's in their court.
So at mark number 1 here in the final, it's Emirates GBR with the lead. Canada in 2nd, and the hometown favorites, Australia, will sit in 3rd. But Stevie, what a move by Tom Slingsby. Didn't pull us wide, he just went wide, and now he's back up to speed.
Yeah, he just did it wide. He's a bit of extra experience out there, and he nailed that manoeuvre, but it's all about being smooth on board Emirates Great Britain. They're going to be into gate 2 with no more manoeuvres. But what's the choice? Do they go straight and take a left turn? It looks like Canada might make it down and cut the corner. Big overlay by Emirates Great Britain. Canada have seen a wind shift. Looks to me like it's a lead change. Canada are going to lead at gate 2. Australia could be straight back to 2nd. Mistake by Emirates Great Britain.
At gate number 2, the DP World Gate, it is North Star Canada, Giles Scott, that will lead. And then it's Emirates GBR, and Tom Slingsby rolls the dice. He opts for the other side. He loves to stay away from his competitors.
Yeah, he saw the chance to follow Canada, but he would have been slow. So what Slingsby's doing, he's trying to find some space. He's looking at the breeze, and at the moment it looks like he's on a nice wind shift up the course, where you expect to see him manoeuvre quite soon and head to the right-hand side of Shark Island. That's been the classic move. Lisa, how's it looking out there on the racetrack? Which side of Shark Island are you going? Oh, big tacking error.
I still think the right-hand side is strong, but where Australia have tacked, they're in plenty of pressure. Obviously, that manoeuvre was a little bit wobbly, but because they nailed that, they're going to be in an okay position, but it's going to be a fight all the way to the end here with GBR tacking in front.
Oh, big cover manoeuvre there, Todd. These two are already in a fight, and that only means good news for Canada. Look here on our Oracle Cloud, big gains to Canada.
They might try and split the other side of the island. What do you think if they do that? Going straight here. Are we happy with that?
Well, it's a 300-metre lead. What he's saying there is, what do we do if we split? If it's gusty and shifty like this, it's very simple. You have to sail what you're in. Control the controllable. All you can do is say where you think you see wind, go and find that breeze. If Australia gets lucky on the left-hand side of Shark Island, so be it. Do what you think right, Giles.
Well, Giles Scott and North Star Canada had to fight their way into that final, getting past Denmark. He's conferring with Annie Hager, Paul Campbell-James to see exactly where they're going to go. And there it is. Stevie referred to it as a roundabout. Shark Island right in the middle of the course. And Canada is out in front by more than 150 meters.
Here we go. This is in the pre-start here, and that was nearly with 20 seconds to go. Australia just pushed down across Canada, got too close. That was where that penalty came from. Canada turned the boat up into the breeze, had to keep clear. They filled the boat up, which will have hurt them, but right now it's a massive lead. As we come back on board, there's spray of water all over the Canadian boats. It's going to be champagne over that Canadian boat if they can hang on to this lead. Look at that, 150-metre lead over Great Britain. Right-hand side of screen, Australia, where they've found no luck on that side of Shark Island. Slingsby's going to need a miracle from here, and the Canadians, North Star Canada, what a season 5 moment for them this could be. Halfway through the race, Todd, 1 down, 1 up, and then the sprint to the finish is all that stands between them and victory here in Sydney.
I'm not sure they're laying anyway that turn.
Let's Hannah Mills talking about the Australians, saying they're not really a threat at the moment. We've got big gaps opened up here. With Great Britain coming and engaging with Australia, they've really potentially given an unassailable lead to the Canadians. It's going to be so hard to find a way back through. If Australia have got a simple choice here. Do they follow? If they do follow, it's very hard to overtake.
From here, bud.
You hear the frustration in the voices on board Australia. They looked so good coming into this race as they win race number 7 to put themselves in the top position, but those scores wiped away, and all 3 teams, apologies for the salty language, but they come around and now they find themselves firmly ensconced in 3rd as they look up the track, and it is Canada way out in front. North Star Canada, the last time Canada won an event at SailGP, Stevie, you've got to go back to season 3, that's 2023, and for Giles Scott, you go back to last year, that's when he was driving for Emirates GBR, and that's when he made his debut winning in Halifax.
Oh, don't underestimate the fact there will be a bit of niggle between Giles Scott and Dylan Fletcher. They've swapped roles there. You know, we don't know what exactly went on with that Emirates Great Britain. Obviously, of course, a fantastic opportunity for Giles to come and sail for Canada and represent them, which I know he's very proud to be doing. But him and Dylan, you know, they've been rivals for positions in British teams a lot. This will mean an awful lot to Giles right now if he can hang on. And yeah, huge for North Star Canada's season, huge for the new ownership. So here we go. Upwind leg to go, 3 legs to go.
That's faster. 23 to boundary.
And Stevie, it's one of those situations where if you were coaching them, you would probably just say, keep it simple. Keep it simple. You have a massive lead. Don't let the pressure come to you and make a silly mistake.
Yeah, and you've got to focus in on your manoeuvre, so do the next right move. That's what's key at this point here. Where's their wind? That's the first thing. If I've got more wind, I can keep going fast. Now, I'm surprised they didn't turn a little bit sooner. As soon as they saw Great Britain were about to turn left, I'm surprised Canada didn't turn. They've given about 50 metres extra leverage than they needed to, but left-hand side of our screen, there is good wind.
Get to lay and see if there's an option to split.
Well, that's there, Hannah talking about the downwind leg. They get to a point where they can either turn right or left, and then they take a call off Canada. At that point, we're not going to follow Canada. If we follow Canada, then the only hope is that they make a mistake. By splitting, they give themselves a shot. I'm surprised Canada didn't manoeuvre sooner after that gate to cover off Great Britain. There is now an opportunity. When the boats come back together, Great Britain are going to have the right of way.
Right now, Great Britain has the lead. Emirates GBR has found the speed on that side of the course. Look at the difference, 66 kilometers an hour as opposed to North Star Canada, closer to the 55, 56 kilometers an hour.
Advantage Great Britain here. They need a good manoeuvre.
Pressing a little, good angle.
Oh, it was pretty much perfect. Here we go. I think they're going to make... Oh, it's a huge lead change. But Great Britain say they're not laying. They're expecting to have to manoeuvre more. Potentially, North Star Canada can do it with just one more manoeuvre. Mother Nature could have one final say in this. There's the ley line. That's the position that says Canada will make it with no more manoeuvres.
And then you have to factor in Shark Island and what the wind is going to do there. So let's quickly go down in the water, check in with Lisa. Lisa, on leg 5 of 7, you see what's left. What are you seeing as far as wind, and whose position do you like better?
I'm a bit worried about Emirates Great Britain now. They are in quite a lot of light pressure, so it is going to be difficult for them. But the wind at this moment, it's just coming over the land, and I think they're just going to get this riding now. But as I'm watching it, and they may make it.
I think they need to make it. I think they need to make it here if they can. They've got to watch out for that little mark in the water there, but it's all about making gate 5 with no more manoeuvres for Great Britain. I think they're going to do enough. Canada will be quicker.
Look at the gap that Australia has closed. Don't count them out just yet as they come in. Look at the speed differences, and it is Emirates GBR right now out in front.
All to gain here, guys. Nothing to lose. Go for it.
Oh, I love the attitude.
Right of way is with Great Britain. They are allowed to do a couple of manoeuvres if they need to, but they've got to keep the speed. I think they're going to be okay. They've crept round ahead of him. Huge moment. Can they re-accelerate? I think they can. They're just one turn away here. purely about a minute's racing left. I don't see what Canada can do from here.
6-second lead, it's all it is, and they will make their way up to mark number 6. Can they hold on to that lead? Dylan Fletcher and company, they've got the lead. Here come the speed, though. Look at Dylan, look at Giles Scott. They're starting to pick up a little speed.
Potentially 2 more manoeuvres. It looks like it's hard to get there. First to move Canada, that's a good call. Force extra manoeuvres into the British boat. Try and force the error. No errors so far. Send it fast. 2 more manoeuvres for both boats.
Right. Rolling away. Rolling away, mate. We'll get there.
Oh, I think the British are going to try and make it with no more manoeuvres.
Turn to finish.
Oh, Hannah Mills there. Calm voice. Good time for a calm voice, that was.
Well, Giles Scott, you saw what he was trying to do there, Stevie. He rolled the dice. It didn't come up Yahtzee for him. And just like that, the smallest of margins, it is Hannah Mills and Dylan Fletcher that get around that final mark. And now it is a straight shot to glory land. Emirates GBR, they've been in the final for the last 2 events, and they make the 3rd final in a row. And the Emirates winning moment goes to Emirates GBR. They take the win in Sydney.
Oh, that was some race. And they set it up at the bottom, didn't they? Get to ley line, and let's see if we get the chance to split. They certainly did, and have some of that indeed. That's 3 podiums from 3 starts for Dylan Fletcher on his comeback to SailGP. What a performance. Tough pill to swallow for Australia.
And it's a tough one for Australia. The winners of the last event in Auckland, New Zealand. They came here, Stevie, looked so good on practice day. They looked great on day number 1, looked great on day number 2, and it came down to that last race. Got entangled with Emirates GBR. And Tom Slingsby is not happy. He is still having words about what Chief Umpire Craig Mitchell doled out to them just before they got to mark number 1.
Yeah, well, it's just because I think the penalty came on so late, so he didn't have the opportunity to get rid of the penalty as early as he'd like to. But, of course, it comes down to meters. Right-hand side there, Sir Ben Ainsley. He'll love watching that. Great for Emirates, Great Britain.
It is Emirates GBR that reigns supreme in Sydney.
Let's go. Yeah.
The 3 protagonists that will take part in the event final here in Los Angeles: North Star Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. Stevie, I'd say North Star Canada is the newest to this group, but Giles Scott is not new to this kind of racing.
No, and they were so close to winning in Sydney, weren't they? They're going to have the bit between their teeth, that's for absolute sure. Same for Slingsby and Burling. You know, had a terrible event in Sydney and disappointing in New Zealand, but I think with this Canadian crew, you know, Annie Hager and Giles seem to have really found their feet in terms of mapping out a course around the racetrack. And Billy Gooder, well, he's renowned for pushing the ride height really aggressively. He was on fire yesterday with it. He would like a little bit more breeze. And I think in these flat waters, it's going to suit Billy.
And then let's talk about New Zealand, Hannah. They have been the class. They are always consistent. They always have so much talent on board.
Yeah, and that combination of Pete and Blair, they've been competing and winning together for so many years. Leo Takahashi a bit newer in that flight controller role this year with this team, but Liv Mackay, again, been there for a long time now, really solid crew.
And of course, Australia rounding out the trio with Tom Slingsby, a 3-time champion in 5 seasons of SailGP. Stevie, he's got all kinds of talent surrounded him as well with Waterhouse, Chris Draper, and Tosh Bryant.
Yeah, I think Draper's been a great addition to the team, and Slingsby now seems to really have it in light air.
So here we go, the final race for the Rolex Los Angeles Sail Grand Prix, the Rolex SailGP Championship. This is event 4, season 5, SailGP. Now just the top 3 teams on points after 7 races have taken place, and it is New Zealand, Australia, and North Star Canada that'll battle it out for the title.
Here we go, we see bottom right-hand corner of the start line, and we see the optimum place to be is on the inside of Mark 1. We heard Chris Draper saying we're almost racing back to the line. They're all quite late. Good news for Canada, can they stay foiling? The Rolex Pro Predictor has just switched to the Australians on the inside, but I think they're going to struggle to get accelerated in the dirty, disturbed wind behind the other boats here. New Zealand are up and foiling, Canada up and foiling. We're waiting for the line to turn white. I love where the Kiwis are. All about timing now. How are we looking, Peter Burling? We are on time on New Zealand. The Black Foils will lead at Mark 1. Australia are late, and Canada have got it all on, but it's going to take some catching Burling and co from here.
Looks okay.
As they approach mark number 1 here at the event final, worst case scenario for North Star Canada, Australia, it is the Black Foils up and foiling and pulling away, pushing almost 70 kilometers an hour.
manoeuvres are now crucial. We heard it's all about really sticking them in. Tom Slingsby saying we should be sticking the manoeuvres, it'll be a mistake not to. Canada turn early. They look to cut the corner on the New Zealand crew. Who's done the better manoeuvre? Speed-wise, Canada look pretty good. I think they've maybe just hung on enough here, New Zealand. New Zealand look pretty good. Canada are potentially going to have to do 2 here, and it looks like further distance to a right turn. So New Zealand definitely going to minimise distance down here, and they're fast. It's going to be good news for the Kiwis. Maybe a little too aggressive too early from Canada, but they will have a split at gate 2, and we will see who finds more wind after this downwind gate.
So it almost becomes a 2-boat race now, with Australia really getting off the line late. It is the Black Foils, New Zealand opting for the right-hand side there, and North Star Canada going left.
Look like pretty good for a left turn there for pressure. Lisa, what are you seeing on the water? Are you turning left or right?
I still think out of the odds, the right-hand side has been working the most. Canada looks pretty lit up, so it's really coming down to the executing manoeuvres. But where New Zealand is where it's been working best all day.
Right now, the Canadian boat is on the foils. The Kiwis have manoeuvred, fell off the foils, but they're back up and going. As we see from the Oracle Cloud, we got the wind velocity very similar across the course right now. Not a lot in it. It's going to come down to executing good manoeuvres and who's found the best angle. Brilliant tack by the Canadians there. Stayed on the foils. Will be a gain, but it still looks like advantage New Zealand as they have the right of way.
And Australia back in the mix, so they are now sitting currently in 2nd place as they pick that left-hand side, and watch the Canadians start to close this gap.
Looked like quite a lot of bias at that bottom gate. Looked like the Kiwis and the Australians sailed a lot less distance to me, Hannah. Do you think that's right?
Yeah, and that left turn's been favoured all day, really. But I think if you're the Canadians and you're in 2nd, you want to go for the win, so you have to split and then see what happens from there.
That's exactly what they did, but now no one able to track down Peter Burling and New Zealand. They came off the line fast, Stevie, and that has been the story really all day today and a little bit of yesterday. Get that start, getting clean air, and you stay away from trouble.
Yeah, I mean, even there's a bit more space now, so we can see as the Kiwis turn here, they've not done a great manoeuvre. They're just making a few little errors every time they turn the boat upwind here, and the Canadians did stay on the foil. See, Canada are still foiling, and this manoeuvre back, Canada will have the right of way. Can they stay foiling? Looks pretty good to me. How's that speed? Yes, they've stayed flying, and they have the right of way here, Todd. Massive. Could be a lead change coming here. I like what the Canadians are doing. They're going to turn left. New Zealand are probably going to be forced to either try and dive in front of Canada or dip behind and split away to the right. Big gain by the Canadians, all down to brilliant handling from the crew.
Not that tricky of a cross right there, as Canada with the right-of-way opts for that other side. They split the course again. Australia drops back into 3rd place. So it is Canada on the water with a slight lead over the Black Foils of New Zealand, who got the hole shot. They led at mark number 1.
Definitely got good wind on board the New Zealand boat at the moment. When they meet back up, they're going to meet back up in about 20 or 30 seconds, maybe 30 or 40 seconds actually. New Zealand will have the right of way, but it'll all be who's lined up for this bottom gate, and can the New Zealand boat make Canada have to take avoiding action? New Zealand might have fallen off the foils again here, Todd. I think they've missed another manoeuvre, and Canada are making no mistakes. Billy Gooderham and silky smooth. Yeah, Canada, New Zealand are off the foils. Another error by the Black Foils, and that's another big gain for the Canadians. This looks pretty good for North Star Canada at the moment.
And Hannah, here's my question. As Canada comes in here, are they going to opt for the left-hand side this time, where Lisa Darmanin was reporting more pressure?
I think if they can make it in, then that would be the smart decision. It has been strong all day, but it's just whether they have to sail low and slow mode together, or if they pick that line just right.
What a turn of events after just one leg, with New Zealand looking like, Stevie, they were going to check out and run away with the victory here. And Giles Scott said not so fast, as he is now pulled into nearly a 200-meter lead.
Isn't it interesting, Todd, in sport, how it all comes down to that error count and unforced errors making this trick. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy to manoeuvre in these boats. It's really, really hard. But if you do it well, it's simple gains. They've not really done anything special. They've just done the basics very well. Nice roundup. They're definitely sailing towards a dark patch of water there. Canada are heading towards a fantastic bit of breeze. Expect New Zealand to split away potentially, or they're going to set them snow. New Zealand are saying, look, we're going to have to settle for 2nd here. They want to just make sure they stay ahead of Australia, and it'll be Australia that look for magic on the other side of the course. But Canada right now, wow, North Star Canada looks like Giles Scott could be bringing home his first Canadian win.
1, turning up.
Tom Slingsby makes the turn. He splits with the Kiwis, and now it is on. The lead is now down to 150 meters as they make their way up to the top of the course. Then it'll be a right-hand turn into the finish line. There you see the distance. It's under 100 meters now. Do they get the pressure? Does New Zealand get it? We go down in the water quickly. Lisa Darmanin, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Canada's looking pretty solid right now. The New Zealand, they didn't have a good maneuver, so I think if you're Canada, you got one more maneuver to do, and then this win could be theirs.
So at 52 kilometers an hour, Stevie, they look to be in good pressure. As you look at the surface of the water, New Zealand now, all they can do is hope for a mistake.
Yeah, beautiful manoeuvre by the Australians. I don't see a mistake coming. I think the real battle's perhaps for second and third here. Australia have got a couple more manoeuvres to do. New Zealand perhaps just one, but the Aussies will have to, I think, get one more shot at getting back at the Blackfalls. But yeah, Canada, it's a masterclass. Let's just see how well they execute this last manoeuvre. Here they go. This is the mover for the money. Well, that was absolutely perfect. Billy Gooderham has got that boat on rails right now. They are nailing it round the course here. Beautiful play. Paul Campbell-James, he calls for a little high mode to try and make it to the finish. They're just coming in straight here. If they can make the right turn with no more manoeuvres, then this will be the first time North Star Canada, with Giles Scott on the wheel, can take a victory.
Stevie, you have to go back to March of 2023. Canada, season 3 in Christchurch, the last time they had an event win. So it is a long time coming as Giles Scott has now taken the wheel, and he looks very good right now, trying to hold off the Kiwis and the Aussies. And there you see the distance. This is all but a done deal for North Star Canada, as Giles Scott will spin it one more time to the right, and he'll be 250 meters away from glory.
Going to get it done. It's going to be brilliant for Canada, but right now, neck and neck, Slingsby and Burling. This is going to be huge for the championship as a whole. Right of way is with Australia. New Zealand must be confident of crossing ahead.
And as they approach the line, it has been 727 days in the making. The Emirates winning moment goes the way of North Star Canada.
Elbows up for the North Star Canada across the finish line. Wow, what a result by them. Giles Scott bounces back from Sydney disappointment.
The greatest neighbors to the north as Canada comes to Los Angeles and claims the top prize. The Kiwis will hold on for second, Australia third.
Tom Slingsby's going to be frustrated. He did not nail that start at all. He's going to be annoyed, and the Blackfall as well. Some pretty clear things to go work on. Their manoeuvring not as good as we used to seeing. Started very nicely. When they started well, they did well. But there, they just didn't quite have the manoeuvres down. They'll be happy with a second, though. Yep. Championship as a whole, those 3 teams will be good. But that's exactly what Canada needed. They needed an event win. They've got an event win. Huge for their season 5.
Canada was sitting in 6th place overall coming into this event. You tack on 10 more points for the win here, and that will certainly bump them up the ladder. Once again, it's Canada getting the win at event number 4. The Rolex Los Angeles Sail Grand Prix goes the way of the Canadians. All right, the race at hand as we come up on 45 seconds to go until the event final here at the Oracle San Francisco Sail Grand Prix. Spain, Canada, and France. Hannah Diamond, pick your poison. Who do you like?
Well, that's a tough call here. I think the Spanish are lined up nicely, and I wouldn't bet against them.
Well, here we go. You can see that you're all going to be trying to get the downwind inside under the line, and the attackers in this situation are going to be Canada. They're the furthest back. Spain have kind of made their bed, and they're looking to put it out.
Here we go, 15 seconds before the start of the event final.
All about being clear at this start is what Diego Bortin said. As we can see now, out of the fog, it's going to be North Star Canada threading the needle between the fleet here, looking for that line to turn right, and it's all about the timing. Oh, the French have nailed it, Todd. They're on the inside, they're fast, they're foiling hard, they've got the right of way, and I do not see anyone leading this French team ahead at Mark 1.
Like a scene out of Master and Commander as they emerge from the fog and they approach mark number 1. It will be the French who get in just barely into the event final, and they will pick up the whole shot here in San Francisco.
Oh, they nailed that start when they needed to. They came through on the attack. Spain are going to have a lovely dive down at Mark 1 and expect them to manoeuvre away first here. There they go in the background. That had to be the call in 3rd place. Canada move away behind. Not the best manoeuvre, and France cover. Now it's going to be a sprint as they all try and line up gate 2. That's the first opportunity for a split, Hannah, but I love where the French are right now. Darker patch there, looks like they found breeze.
Yeah, and the breeze has definitely picked up since the last race, so they've got to be aware that the manoeuvres are going to be slightly different, but Spain had to split at that point. They had to make that first manoeuvre, but I think France are lined up really nicely for the bottom gate.
Don't need to speak a lot of French to understand that super means they're pretty happy on board that French boat right now, and they've really got a big lead, 100 metres there. We see in that Oracle cloud is telling us that they are just constantly faster on board the French boat at the moment. They're just in good breeze, they're moving ahead. And now at gate 2, big decision. I suspect the French will take the right turn. They'll keep it simple, one more manoeuvre right turn. The interesting one, Spain. Spain manoeuvre early. I suspect they'll look for a left turn, try and split the course, but is there opportunities on the race course for an overtake, or have the French already done it?
And there's the maneuver as the French come in now at the bottom of the course. This is gate number 2, the DP World Gate. It is France by 100 meters. Don't count out the Canadians, Stevie. We've seen this before. We saw it in Los Angeles. It looks like they were not going to be in the top spot, and they came back and got the pass.
Yeah, it's not. This race is way far from over. We're only on just coming onto leg 3 of 6. We're not even anywhere near halfway, really. And it is Spain who do split away. No surprise there. Constant attack for Botín. And Lisa, what's the breeze looking like down there on the water? Is it looking better offshore still?
Nice, good pressure.
Yeah, I mean, the fog has come all the way into the bay now, so it's changed the game a little bit. I think the Spanish, they're in really good breeze, but where the French are, where originally it was quite light, there is breeze there now, so it's kind of, it's changed again, and I think the French are probably still in a strong position.
So you see the visibility down closer to the water, and this could be a situation with that fog where they might not know where the other team is. But they right now have good visibility as they go through that chopped up water. Spain has the advantage, or right away, I should say.
Yeah, and they've made the jump there over Canada. That obviously was a good call to take that left turn, and now they're sailing into slightly less tide as they get closer to that shoreline.
Right of way Spain here, Hannah, and it looks like they're going to get it. Oh, we called it. Left turn at the bottom was huge. This race is all wide open, but the Spanish boat right now looks so fast.
Yeah, they look really nice and settled now. The breeze is up, don't they? So they're going to be hard to beat from here, but I know that the French will keep pushing.
The thing to remember as well here, Todd, is that the Spanish made a gain by coming away from San Francisco. That's where France are going, where the North Star Canada team are. So potentially Spain are sailing into less wind. Lisa did think it was a bit better on that side, but this race is going to keep going all the way to the wire.
With the San Francisco skyline as a backdrop, the French spin the boat around, currently in second place.
Big grinders across the front there. Matty Van Dam, he's straight across in there. Going to start pushing hard on those handles. And they've got the right of way when they meet back up with the Spanish.
Shoot him, Phil. Shoot him. No problem. All good. We're clear.
Just a little bit unsure how they were looking on Canada, and Florian there, calm voice when it was needed. We're clear. I think they're just across, but are they across the French? This race is all on, Todd.
Here we go as they approach gate number 3.
Oh, Nicole sounded confident there. All good, they touched down. I mean, that's a marginal call, but she was confident. That's what you want to hear as a driver out there. Confident calls from your strategist. And to me right now, Spain looking phased. Look at that Nicole van Velden, still with that bad leg. She's struggling across the boat, but you can't say she's not a fighter. That is for sure. As in the background, Canada and France are having to take avoiding action, and that's going to mean a big gain for the Spanish team up at the top here. But another big decision. Do you turn left and head to the shore, or do you take this right turn and hope to find more breeze? Another crucial decision for the chasing boats here.
And here we go. It is Spain that'll make the decision first. And they will opt for the left-hand side, so they will go closer to shore. Who will split the course and who will follow?
I think the Canadians will split. They've got to. They're going to save manoeuvres. France are going to follow, but France are going to lose distance doing that. So really, I think for Spain, that was a huge moment. France always had to split. If they followed Canada, they would have just been sailing in disturbed wind, which they're just going to be sailing slower. At least now they got a chance to be fast, but doing that manoeuvre, they've lost meters in that.
So here it is, the situation at hand. It is Spain out in front. They will go down to the bottom of the course. They will turn, come back up, and then it'll be a left turn to the finish line. Can they hold off the Canadian, Giles Scott? He is a master-class sail, and we'll see what they can pull off. The two-time Olympic gold medalist in the fin class.
Well, they were elbows up in LA, weren't they? And they were hoping for a bit of a double-double here in San Fran, but right now they're going to rely on a mistake for the Spanish because they're sailing really nicely on board that Spanish boat. Get last at gate 3, they were third at gate 3, Hannah, and look at this, nearly 200 meters ahead. I mean, they're going fast.
Yeah, they've got a really great lead. They definitely wanted that left turn at the top. I think they're coming down in really nice pressure at the moment, and if they just keep calm, they should be able to pick their gate mark at the bottom and keep it nice and simple.
All right, Hannah, look at your crystal ball. Which way does Diego Botín and the Spanish go when they get to the bottom of the course? What do you think?
Well, I think they'll probably want to turn right. It looks like they're setting up just for the ley line there, so that means they don't have to have any more maneuvers, but Canada are catching up.
Look at the speed difference. Canada checking in around 76 kilometers an hour. The Spanish now just picking up their speed. They hold at 72.
Yeah, interesting call here. Yeah, I was going to say, Spain gained by coming away from San Francisco. So he's basically decided, let's do what we did work for us last time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep it simple. They're going to head away from the shore. The tricky decisions with the boats behind. Does Canada follow and try and secure this second place, or do they risk it all? It looks like they're going to try and secure it, so it's France, so they're going to roll the dice.
And they do. Quentin Delapierre and the French, they turn away. They will opt for the other side, looking for clean air. And now it is Giles Scott hoping that Diego Botín and the Spanish, the defending champions from season 4, make a mistake here as they head upwind.
Rolex chasing time, 7 seconds for the Canadians to catch up. And the trouble is, because Spain have pushed all the way to the boundary here, Canada are going to end up basically following them. And it's just control, control, control. I think Canada needed to manoeuvre a bit earlier after that gate if they were going to make more of a race of it. For me, Canada are almost saying, okay, you keep making the right decisions, Spain. We're just going to follow you and let you have it. Or, fingers crossed for a mistake, which we're just not seeing from that Spanish boat at the moment.
Spain just moments away from being the 5th team in season 5 to get a win out of 5 events. Stevie, who'd have thought that across the board? 5 different winners in 5 different events.
Well, they seem to like it here in San Francisco, don't they, the Spanish? I mean, they've led a final here, and there you go, Nicole there, good gains here. I mean, you can't wish to hear anything better than that.
On the way.
No, they just seem so calm and confident. They're in a controlling position here. The Canadians are going to have to either keep putting the pressure on, hoping for a mistake, but there's not a lot of options left to split from here.
No, Canada will manoeuvre next, probably, and then Spain will just go straight with them. And if they go all the way till they can get to the turning point, then the Spanish have got it in the bag anyway. There go Canada. Expect Spain to follow. Oh, Florian, we do our thing. Well, there you go. I'm surprised he's opened the door a little bit, but they weren't maybe ready for the manoeuvre there.
4, 3, 2, 1. Turning. Pressing out. Good. Nice. Pressing.
Surprised that Diego Botín does all this in English.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's really impressive. It's great for the commentary, isn't it? It does save us having to do as much talking.
Leg 5 of 6. There is Canada. There is Spain on the right-hand side. Both of them will make a left-hand turn at this final mark as France comes into view. But it looks like the Spanish, Stevie, if they perform properly on this last maneuver, they've got this one in the bag.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. They've just sailed smooth, haven't they? And you can just tell that Diego and Nicole at the back have got a really special connection. They're really understanding each other, the calmness that comes in. Teams works clean. They've executed that well, just about a turn now, and then they can enjoy once again an event-winning run to the finish here in San Fran.
3, 2, 1. I'm down.
They make the left-hand turn at the final mark, and there you see the finish line just ahead. As they come across the line, no big shocker here. They won 2 races in the fleet race, and now the Emirates winning moment. The celebration can begin. Spain rules San Francisco again.
I've watched Rafael Nadal win enough tennis events to know that Vamos is a good thing. And I might not speak a lot of Spanish, but what an Emirates winning moment that is there. It means a lot, doesn't it? Their season now is fully up and running. That's huge. North Star Canada, another good result for them. They're really the form team at the moment.
First event win since season 4 win in San Francisco for the Spanish as they claim this one at the Oracle San Francisco Sail Grand Prix. Diego Botín, Florian Trittel, the entire squad getting it done. Nicole Vandervelde and Stevie, you talked about it, the injured leg, but she did work on that boat today to get them in. France will come through and they will finish in 3rd, but they will pick up some valuable season points. Once again, tip your cap to the Spanish as they dominate on the Pacific. We'll start things off with the French. Can they pull it off? Stevie, this is loaded. This squad is loaded.
Absolutely loaded. And I think I'm looking at Timothy Lepau and Mathieu Van Dam, actually, the grinders there. Big, powerful units in the front of the boat. And how the fitness of the athletes is going to be as we move into this final could be quite crucial, really. Quentin and Manon, well, they have a great relationship tactically around the course. But I think it's all on those grinders for me.
And of course, the Black Foils, they are no strangers to being in the final. Hannah, they've got a squad that is loaded with medals, World Championships, America's Cup, you name it.
Yeah, that's right. And they've sort of underperformed in the last few events.
Yep.
So now's definitely the time for them to put that right. It's going to be a tricky race, but they're definitely going to be wanting to put their best performance forward.
The Kiwis have not won since the first event of Season 5. That was in Dubai in Light Breeze. They currently sit in 4th overall, and they are 4 points out of the overall, with the Bons Flying Russo not in this one, so this should mix things up just a little bit. And finally, Spain, Stevie, we've come to know them so well. They did so well in San Francisco, and they are the defending champions from Season 4.
Yeah, and they look like the form boat at the weekend, didn't they? They've just come off the boil a little bit, but what we have noticed with Diego, Florian, and the whole team really is they do seem to be pretty good at delivering in these finals. So I think, yeah, it's going to need a full performance from them, and they've just not got off the start very well. Only 3 boats now. A lot easier to get off the start well, but perhaps a bit more crucial to be ahead because you're only racing a couple of boats. I think, you know, let's see. New Zealand have won one. Spain have won one. Will it be 6 different winners from 6 events? That would be insane.
Under 90 seconds to go before the start of the event final, we check in down on the water with Lisa Darman. And Lisa, what can you tell us about conditions and who do you like?
I mean, the French are looking so good. New Zealand won here last year, and Spain have just been outstanding all season. So it's a hard one to pick. It's sail your own race, sail the pressure you're in. It's snakes and ladders out here.
So 65 seconds away from the start here in New York City.
Well, Lisa gave us the full coaching smorgasbord of cliches there, didn't she? And all of the ones that you can take on. Basically, as Pete said, this one's not going to be over till it's over.
For the non-sailors out there, Hannah Diamond, snakes and ladders, translate that.
Well, we've been seeing how hard the boats are to sail in these conditions, and the difference in the wind, in the gusts, the lulls is massive. So you can't rest on your laurels. You're going to have to make sure you're sailing the best strategy and as fast as you can around the course.
All right, here we go. It is the final dance in the start box. 30 seconds away from the event final here at the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix.
They're all fighting for this downwind end of the line there. Spain and New Zealand, it was tight. Fans are going to get a good view of this. Rolex pole predicts on France. They do have a little bit of space, but they're not foiling. The other 2 boats are up and running. Don't think it'll be hard to get on the foils, but it's going to be hard to judge the start. Spain control New Zealand at the moment. France have got their own bit of space. It is all about timing. Here come the French. They wind it up, but Quentin Delipierre dives for the inside, but is he late? Line's going to go wide. It looks like Bouti's got it right. What a start by the Spanish. France are out the back. Spain have control at the first mark, and they're going to lead the fleet away.
guys. What do you want for the
Look at the speed, nearly 67 kilometers an hour as they hit 70 now, as they hit mark number 1 at the event final. It will be the Spanish that have the lead, the defending champions from Season 4 and winners of the last race. They are out in front, the Black Foils right behind, and France with some work to do.
Oh, we're on board Mark 1, but that was lovely work by the Spanish. They worked themselves up to give themselves a good exit to Mark 1. Textbook stuff, but they made a little error in the board drop there. New Zealand spin first. New Zealand will put disturbed air onto Spain and expect France to stretch slightly wide on the course and try and minimise manoeuvres. New Zealand now, they've got to put the hammer down, but it's going to be hard to catch the Spanish here. Spain look well lined up for gate 2 at the moment.
Yeah, that's right, and it might be that there's 2 extra manoeuvres for both these boats. We'll have to see what angle they come down. If they can just close those ladder lines down a little bit more, they might be able to make it round to turn left in 1.
There we go, that's a question. I think what he's saying is that when it's tricky to do good manoeuvres, you want to minimise the number of manoeuvres you do. But it looks to me like New Zealand think they've got to do another one. They can't make it in 1. They manoeuvre. Spain manoeuvre first. Oh no, Spain were later to manoeuvre than Burling thought. Would be surprised to see a protest there, but I think the right of way was all okay for Spain then. They just about pushed the limits of the rule, but they got it right. All boats are going to turn right, it looks like here. Great news if you're leading.
And Hannah, you're surprised to see France following the other 2 and not opting for the other side.
Yeah, I am. I think probably they were opted for 1 manoeuvre just rather than 2. So it's definitely on that cusp of can we push or do we need to just put on pressure from behind?
I think for me, in this situation, Todd, we're early in the race, very shifty, a lot to happen. Don't do something that you know is going to be wrong early on in the race. Keep yourself in the fight. Opportunities could come on later. Lisa, what are you seeing out there on the water? Do you like it where the New Zealand boat are headed right now?
Yeah, I really like where New Zealand's heading. In about 30 seconds, they're going to hit a big pocket of pressure, and that's what's going to take them back up to this top gate.
So there are the Black Foils, winners of last year's event here on the Hudson. We're halfway into leg 3 of 6. This is the event final, winner take all.
Well, it's good news for New Zealand right now. Look, 25 kilometres an hour of wind. They've got nearly 3 kilometres an hour more wind. That should mean more boat speed. We're not seeing it just yet. So the Spanish team have clearly got it set up to go fast on board there. New Zealand will have the right of way when they come back together, but they need the wind to turn in their direction to try and cut down this distance. Accurate manoeuvres, absolutely crucial now in Spain, where we don't see them make a lot of mistakes. New Zealand are going to turn, and then Spain will turn right in front of them. Disturbed wind will go onto the New Zealand boat. It's going to be hard for the Kiwis on this leg to make any overtake. Still, only just about getting to the halfway point in the race here, Todd. It's all about accurate manoeuvres still.
You can always tell how tense the situation is by how quick Diego Botín speaks Spanish. He goes in rapid fire.
He does go in rapid fire, but I think he'll be pretty happy now. They're well set up directly in front of the New Zealand boat, putting disturbed wind onto them, and they'll probably be able to guess from here that New Zealand have to turn to the right, so they're going to try and shut that move down. Oh no, they could both go left. This is a big move here by the Spanish. I'm surprised at this. They've made a more complex manoeuvre. This is going to make it tight. They must see more wind there. And the Spanish turning for more wind here, do you think, Lisa?
With me. Nice, real nice. Big lead.
Yeah, I think where the Spanish are going, it's just there's so many bullets out here. What I mean by that is that there's thin slivers of extra pressure where Spain is, and where they're going to hit right now, it's going to knock them closer down towards the finish, the mark, and also help them accelerate.
And we have seen that right turn on this second lap be really powerful, so it might be that they're taking a little loss at the bottom to pick up a potential, at the top, sorry, to get a potential gain at the bottom.
Oh, it's a big call, though, because you know when you do an extra manoeuvre, for sure you lose some distance. So you've got to be absolutely certain that there's a gain to be found out there. Now, these are the best sailors in the world, so you'd assume they are absolutely certain. But it was a big call by the Spanish at this point in the race. And if they've set it up to give New Zealand a split at the bottom, it could be opportunity knocks. Right of way, Spain. New Zealand are coming in from the right-hand side, but it's Spain with the right of way, and it looks like they've held their lead. Maybe even gained. Botín's got it right.
So the Rolex chase time now turns the favor of the Spanish, the Season 4 defending champions, as they turn the tables on the Black Foils, and they'll get to the DP World Gate first as they make their way leg 4 of 5, make it leg 5 of 6.
And you see left-hand side of the screen, New Zealand are just forcing the issue here. They had to drop 2 boards to get that turn. Always going to be a hard manoeuvre. They got slow doing that, and that could be costly. They felt like this was the time to roll the dice. They had to take a different turn. If they followed Spain, they're definitely behind. You get slow, you're going to lose a lot of distance. They might well lose the French here, and this is just good news for the Spain. Basically, this is a victory walk. We saw Carlos Alcaraz only earlier come back with a victory at Roland Garros to take the French Open in the tennis, with the sort of fighting performance we're seeing from the Spanish right now.
And it's those kind of decisions that they made at that top mark which either kind of set you apart from the rest of the fleet. You've sometimes got to be willing to take that risk.
20 minutes ago, Spain were on the outside looking in fleet race number 6 as they were behind Mubadala Brazil to even make it into the event final. They come in as the 3rd place team in the winner-take-all, and the team that won in San Francisco look to be on their way to claiming back-to-back victories here in Season 5.
Yeah, just one more good manoeuvre, Todd, but they could make a terrible manoeuvre, to be honest, and they'd still be absolutely fine. They're sailing the boat so fast when they're in space. They've just not started well today, but if you're going to do a good start, do it in the last race of the day. Do it in the final. Get it done, and they've got that done. Here we go. Watching on board the Spanish. Can they keep it foiling through here? Looks good for me. First team going to go back-to-back here, Todd.
You look at their report card for Spain. They started the event off with a 1st place finish. Then they come back with a 4th, and they wrap up day number 1 with a 3rd. On day number 2, they come out with a 2nd. Race number 5, they just really had a terrible performance. They finished in 11th. They bounced back in race number 6 to finish 7th, and that was good enough to get them into the final. And here they are. The Emirates winning moment once again will go to the team of Diego Botín, Florian Trittel, and company in New York City. Spain will reign supreme.
Vamos indeed.
Coast to coast, the Spanish are winners in San Francisco 77 days ago, and now in New York City.
They're getting pretty good at these finals.
Racing still out on the water. It'll be the black foils just having enough unless Content de la Pierre can turn on the afterburners and make a race to the finish line. But it looks like New Zealand will grab second place.
Yeah, good result for the black foils, and you know, they rolled the dice at the bottom there, didn't they? But it's not cost them anything. I'm sure they would have hated to have come away from this third, but that's a solid one. Good one for France as well. Remember, it's a long race to Abu Dhabi, and all these points add up and count a lot.
Halfway point, and it's New Zealand that finishes second. They finished first last year. That will help them in the overall. They were sitting in fourth. They will certainly move up there. But Spain will be the big winners as they will pick up 10 points. And unfortunately for France, just nothing, not in the mix, Stevie, off the line as they were unable to get into the fight. It was a great battle in there, but Spain made the right decision. They took a chance, and then they made it stick as they win the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix.
Okay.
Already got the 3 teams that will compete in the event final near the start box. We are less than, oh gosh, coming up on 90 seconds to go until this shortened race, Stevie, and we're hearing it's going to be a shorter race than we've seen in the fleet races.
Yeah, just one race, one lap of this race, so, you know, that start is going to be absolutely crucial. But Dylan did mention it is puffy and gusty out there, so there's the opportunity to find more wind and make those overtakes. And, of course, Hannah Mills' strategist, she's got some work to do there if she wants to make that happen. But I think really it's going to be all about Dylan's timing at the start, and then can Hannah find some space on the racetrack?
Nice. Going past at 102.
Okay, Kiwis in late.
There's the lineup for the Black Foils. Peter Burling, Leo Takahashi, of course, Blair Tuke on there, Liv Mackay, Louis Sinclair, and Marcus Hansen, the big grinders up front.
They're going to have to be working hard into this pre-start. There's a lot more space on the course, so a lot more opportunity to make sure that boat's going at top speed all the time.
First timers in the final. How about this lineup, Stevie?
It's a big lineup, and they've got a very, very strong grinding setup there. Matt Gottrell, Stu Dodson, absolute powerhouses. So that's going to be good news for Arno Sarafagis on the wing there. Going to be able to get that Swiss boat going fast. And right now, Rolex Pole Predictor sits on the Swiss. We heard that the Kiwis were late, but they're going to dive inside. We're hearing that it will be 2 laps the race course now. So there is going to be plenty to play here. Emirates Great Britain are early back. They're going to struggle. They've got good control, but they're going to struggle to be fast at the gun. I quite like where the Kiwis are at the moment if they're not going to be late. On United, the Great Britain team here turn the boat towards the line. Swiss are coming in fast. New Zealand are going to be slow. It's all about timing now. How's your timing, Seb Snyder at the bottom of the line? Line goes white, and he's absolutely nailed that on board the Swiss boat. The Kiwis were late, and the British team are going to struggle to get over the top from here. Got to keep clear of the Swiss team, but they are not overlapped. Will Fletcher be brave and spin the boat down in front of the Swiss?
And at mark number 1 in the event final, Dylan Fletcher plays it smart, gives room to the Swiss and Seb Schneider. Peter Burling's not out of this just yet, but this is a shortened race, so we'll see how that all plays out. But it is the Swiss that have the controlling position right now as they line themselves up to gate 2.
Well, they've come up with a great move on board the Swiss boat. Burling first to move away here from the fleet. He's going to have to go right, but he's got space. Switzerland and Emirates Great Britain are slow, and all the boats are talking about wanting a right turn. I reckon the Swiss and the British could get real slow here before the mark. Could be an opportunity for the Kiwis to come in fast around the outside.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like the Swiss, are they working down to a drive to take that right turn?
They are, but they're making a meal of it. They've gone way wide. The Black Foils are going to be right back in this here. They were very slow for that manoeuvre on Switzerland there. Great Britain split the course, and now, where do you see more wind on this race course, Lisa? We've got a split, and the Black Foils are back in it.
I actually do like where Emirates Great Britain are going. I think the day has changed from before, and you know, it is really tricky out here. Each little patch of the race course is quite different, so I think it's more about sailing the wind that you're in that moment. It's going to be hard to cover.
Yeah, and it's going to be about finding the space on the course on the lift attacks, the tack taking you closest to the mark. The Black Foils seem to have made good advantage of that poor rounding by the Swiss to get inside and lead that tack back across the middle of the course where they'll meet Emirates GBR.
This one's crucial, this cross here, Todd. We heard Hannah Mills say big lefty. That should favour the New Zealand team. That should mean New Zealand and Switzerland are sailing more straight up the course, and at the moment you can see Emirates Great Britain sailing nearly parallel to our ladder lines, and that's why that lead is hemorrhaging right now. Wind has shifted in the favour of the black foils. Swiss are still in it. Fletcher's going to have to find some magic if he's going to get himself back in this race. The wind speed across the course, well, there's more wind on board New Zealand and Switzerland as well, so not only are they sailing less distance, they're also doing it at higher boat speed.
7 legs in all on this event final, and you can count out the black foils at your own peril. Just when you think Pistol Pete might be out of it, Stevie, he comes up with this, rolls the dice, and absolutely nails it. So now you've got the black foils out in front. Switzerland's dropped back to second, and Emirates GBR goes from first to third.
Sort of become the hunter now. It's so shifty. That could not be the worst thing in the world for the British, but that might be me being an optimist, as the black foils haven't made many mistakes today. And look at the speed on the black foils. They're nearly 5 kilometres an hour quicker on board that boat. They're going to set up for a manoeuvre. They will have the right of way, and if they lead out of this next gate, then it's going to take... Oh, they've made a mistake there. They nearly lost the rudders, or they got very wobbly through there. Not a great manoeuvre. That's opened the door for the Swiss to turn inside. Can the Swiss hang on?
They're going to have a tough time working up to that left turn, but if there's any right-hand rotation in that wind, then they might be able to make it.
Yeah, they're going to go right turn here at the top here, the British, but so are the Kiwis. That's been the favoured move all day. We got another split, Lisa. We're going to ask you to make the call again. Which way do you like out of this top markers? New Zealand lead at gate 3.
Well, I do like where New Zealand's going right now, but I think long-term, Switzerland's going to be in a stronger position.
And remember, the Swiss looking for their very first win in an event final. They get to the event final, they check that box, now they're looking for the big prize. Will they walk away with the big trophy at the end of the day? Right now they've got to contend with Peter Burling and Emirates GBR and Dylan Fletcher. This race is far from over, leg 4 of 7.
Yeah, good manoeuvre there. We see as Emirates Great Britain, well, they are back in it. Hannah Mills is right. They're very much in the race. It looks like a lead change at the moment, but it's only a paper lead change. We'll see when they come back together. I like the wind shift that the New Zealand crew have. They're sailing nearly straight down the course, making great progress towards the next gate. I think the black foils have boosted out here.
Keep working the deep motor.
And they will have right of way when they come back together, but it's whether they can make it down to that bottom gate without any more manoeuvres.
It's pretty good for it at the moment, doesn't it, Hannah? I like where they're getting, and Burling's calling for the deep mode, so he's saying, let's not go as fast. Let's try and just make sure we make it to this right turn at the bottom. That was where they made the big gain with the right turn. They also made the big gain by having a bit of space. There was a fight between Switzerland and Emirates Great Britain that brought them back into the race. What's going to happen at the bottom here? Does Swiss try and cement second, or do they roll the dice and hope to take a win by splitting away from the Kiwis? It looks like Snyder's hunting the win.
It feels like a risk though, doesn't it? That mark looks like they've sailed a lot of extra distance, and we saw how much Emirates GBR lost from going this way last time.
Yeah, they did. It'll be interesting to hear what wind shift we get here.
That's a good angle, righty, not
It's like righty on the shift, so the Swiss need to really look to take a manoeuvre fairly soon to be progressing up the ladder line a bit more here. It's a battle between Emirates Great Britain and New Zealand on that side of the course. It's going to be hard for Emirates New Zealand to overtake going the same way, but never rule out Dylan Fletcher and crew. They've been going so fast all weekend.
This is very close. Remember, this is like 5 of 7, so it's to the top of the course. They'll come back down, then it'll be a left-hand turn right in front of the Adrenaline Lounge and the packed crowd that have turned out to see this event final here at the Emirates Great Britain Sail Grand Prix in Portsmouth.
Gain to New Zealand. Gain to New Zealand over Switzerland there, and a big one. And Emirates Great Britain are pretty much on their line, so I'd anticipate, as we can see, slightly slower speed on board New Zealand, but they're just trying to claw their way up to the line of Emirates Great Britain, put themselves directly in front of the British and disturb the wind on Emirates Great Britain.
There you see the Rolex chasing time. It is Emirates GBR trying to track down the black foils and Pete Burling. The Kiwis have an 8-second lead right now, but we've seen that evaporate so quickly on these courses. This is going to come down to just a few maneuvers, Hannah Diamond. Can you stick it when you most need it?
Yeah, and you can just see from the body language on the board black foils, they're so calm all the time, especially when they're in front. I think they're going to be hard to catch.
Effectively, if the Kiwis make no manoeuvring mistakes right now, easier said than done, then it's their race. They've got it in the bag. But of course, mistakes can happen quite easily out here on the course, and they've got an interesting decision to make. It looks to me like the Kiwis are setting up for a right turn at the top again here, so an extra manoeuvre coming potentially, and they've got to be careful of the British. British have right of way. Burling needs to stick this. Here we go, big moment. Comfy ahead for me there, clear cross. That was well judged, but my lord, that was brave. Swiss are off the foils, Todd. They've got a problem. So this is a straight one-on-one match race here, but massive gain on the right turn. A lot less distance sailed for the black foils here. We're hearing the Swiss are out, so it's a straight fight. Can Emirates Great Britain give the home fans something to cheer?
Problems on board the Swiss boat, so they are done. They will finish in 3rd overall, but the battle is on now. Who will take home the top prize here in Portsmouth? It is the Kiwis on the left side of your screen, Emirates GBR on the right. There are the numbers.
There's more wind on board the New Zealand boat, and that's pretty good news for the black foils, eh, Hannah?
It is, but you can see that trail in the water they've just left. They've just had a big nosedive, managed to recover it okay, but I think there's probably, they're going to be hard to catch, but it's definitely not over till it's over.
So it's going to come down to the final maneuver when they get to the bottom of the course. It'll be a left-hand turn and then a short sprint to the finish line. For Emirates GBR, this would be their first win since Sydney, going back to event number 3. But for the Kiwis, this would be their first win since the first event of season 5. That was in Dubai way back when.
This is 2 of the Titans, isn't it? So we don't really expect many mistakes here. It still is a bumpy country road that they've got to get it home on, but this is the last manoeuvre. Black foils stick this, and it's in the bag.
Boom! And just like that, Pete Burling shows the rest of the fleet who's in charge. This will certainly shake up the overall standings after 7 events. But the winners of the Emirates Great Britain Sail Grand Prix in Portsmouth, it will be the Kiwis, the black foils. It is your Emirates winning moment.
Boom, indeed, Todd. That was clinical, and they looked like they'd made a bit of a mistake at the start as the fireworks go off in the background. It's all happening on Portsmouth seafront there. What a shot that is. Great result for Emirates Great Britain. But yeah, amazing race, just clinical from the black foils.
So the Kiwis get it done, and they spoil the party for Emirates GBR. You go back to when this race was contested, Stevie, back in, I think it was Plymouth in season 3. And again, it was the Kiwis that won that event. So they obviously know these waters or this southern part of the UK. I know it's a big stretch of land, but wow, they seem to do well here.
Yeah, they're very comfortable here. You know, Pete and Blair's where they won their first Olympic medal was at the London 2012 Olympics. So consistently seem to quite enjoy coming back to the UK, do a good job. But, you know, ultimately they showed a few signs of weakness. They made a mistake in the start there. They were late, but they just stay so composed, like Hannah says, when under pressure.
Being able to come back in the final is going to be a proud moment for any of these teams.
All right, we're about to find out who is going to lift the wheel at the end of the day. 1 minute to go before the event final. Remember, Emirates GBR had their boat damaged last night. It looked like they wouldn't be sailing today, and here they are in the event final. Quentin Delapierre and the French Stevie, they had a bib moment where he goes over the wheel, through the wheel on Friday. They're in the final, and of course, the perennial favorites, the Bonds Flying Roos and Tom Slingsby.
Yeah, you give it to any of them. They've all sailed great. They all deserve to be here, and I think the start will be more important than in the other fleet races. Now there's more space on the course and more of the boats can make their own decision. Emirates Great Britain and Australia, well, they're in a tight fight. Australia now struggling there. The Bonds Flying Roos have got to do some serious work. We've got some tricky manoeuvres to come here. I like where the French are in space, though. Delapierre's been starting well. He has the Rolex pole predictor on him, and he's looking good here as we come in towards the start line. Pole position towards the spot where Emirates Great Britain are, but it's all about acceleration. Bonds Flying Roos is going to need a comeback. Look for that line to turn white. Fletcher's going to get it right here. Oh, Emirates GBR are going to be leading at Mark 1, I think, here. They've just got to pop onto the foils they have. They're gone. They're going to be flying towards Mark 1. Aggressive against Australia, positioned well against the French, and now fast towards Mark 1. Emirates GBR have got it right so far.
Hey, lefty, 5 away. Yeah, here it is.
And as they approach mark number 1, the question is, how much distance can Emirates GBR put between themselves, the French, and the Bonds Flying Roos? The race for the title is on here in Sassnitz.
Yeah, it looks light after this first mark. The Rolex sprint leader there, GBR. Well, they've nailed that, haven't they? You want to go round the first mark in breeze if you're the first boat, because if you're not in wind, it probably means the boat behind is.
We've got pressure coming to us here. Coming up still. Hey, we've got pressure time. Yep. Forward down.
Big wind shift here. None of them are moving down the course very quickly. Expect the Australians to potentially have a little attack option here. Emirates Great Britain are in breeze though.
They're not going to lay, I don't think. Nice angles.
Putting themselves in a nice sort of protected position between the fleet and the mark there. But on a day like today, you can't afford to give anyone any leverage and separation because the breeze is so tricky to read.
Yeah, but they're really well positioned. Look, Emirates Great Britain are sailing into really nice breeze here. Okay, we hear there from Dylan. So interesting here. So, okay, control the controller, one in right. That means one more manoeuvre. Let's take a right turn. The French are basically going to have to follow that, and it'll be a big moment whether Australia rolls the dice or not.
Good opportunity to go down on the water. Lisa Darman, and whose position do you like, and where's the sweet spot for this event final?
I think it's pretty nice to be Emirates Great Britain now and have the choice. But I think one thing that's so hard out here is because the wind direction and speed's changing so much, is trying to choose those ley lines, whether it's that gate or the gate they'll be coming up to. You know, that's really where things have been won or lost out here.
So we've got a split here. Emirates Great Britain like the right turn, which is good, but we could see from that helicopter shot there was wind if you take the left turn. So I don't think it's a problem for either of the boats behind to split away. There will be wind that way, and it will then ask a question. Here we go. What do the Bonds Flying Rouge do? They look like they might split the course. Yep, there they go. Left turns for the Bonds Flying Rouge. They're going to roll the dice early in the race here, Slingsby.
Three-time champions of SailGP. They haven't won since New Zealand event number 2. That's Tom Slingsby and company. As Stevie said, they're going to take a chance here and see what happens. They're already going to finish in the top 3. The only boat out there right now that has not won an event this year is the French.
Okay, crucial moment here in the race. We can see both the boats on the left are not really moving up the course ladder line wise. The wind is rotated to the Bonds Flying Rouge side here, but they're still going to be a little bit behind, but they might have closed the game up a little bit. And what sort of breeze will they be sailing into later? GBR off the foils in no breeze. France foiling seriously 30 kilometers an hour faster. Emirates GBR first to third, I think, here.
That's it. You can't always keep yourself between the fleet and the mark, and just that little bit of separation out of the mark has opened up the door.
Yeah, just seeing the Oracle cloud there that Emirates GBR were in nearly 5 kilometers an hour left wind, and that was just enough to get them off the foils and put them down in the water. So now it's a straight fight between France and Australia. But again, we've seen anything can happen very quickly right now. Bonds Flying Rouge, look how smooth the boat looks here on this flat German water. Good angle for Australia as well here, Todd, straight up the course.
When they say charging, that means that they will have a maneuver when they get to this bottom hand of the screen, and they do have a minimum speed that they can pull off a foiling tack, so they're going to make sure that as soon as they want to make that decision that they're going fast enough to do that.
Slingsby right now is really hoping that in front of him is a nice gust of wind.
Okay, let's stand by there.
No, he's given up. He's saying the wind's going to stay favouring the French for the time being, but they've gone from third to second. They've closed the gap. It's about being patient here and take the opportunities when you did. They split last time at gate 2. What's going to happen at gate 3?
The Bonds Flying Rouge were third off the line. They now drop back to second place, and France inherits the lead. So the French still looking for their first event win of the season. Will it be today in Germany? We are halfway through the course, leg 3 of 6. It is France at gate number 3. The Bonds Flying Rouge in second, and here comes Emirates GBR.
And Emirates GBR are in phase with the wind here. Emirates GBR will go left. If they can go left and manoeuvre early, they could be back in the lead very, very quickly here. This one's favouring Emirates GBR at the moment. If they can stay on the foils, no, they're down off the foils. It's a full reload for the whole fleet. They're all off the foils. France first back up again. Oh, it was inches away from Emirates GBR, making that and taking the lead again.
Oh, God. This is painful. It's okay.
They're struggling too.
You're just holding this angle till we get the pop.
All about keeping cool in this situation and seeing where you can pick back up again.
But look at the difference. I mean, France right now going 60 kilometers an hour. Emirates GBR was down to 17. Now they're starting to build, Stevie, and so they'll be foiling really soon. But this is literally the definition of snakes and ladders.
Todd, I told you we were playing Mario Kart powered by nature out here today, didn't you? And this final is demonstrating that. France are doing a very nice job of staying calm. Sail your own boat well. That's all you can control is what you sail. Left-hand side of screen, Emirates GBR. They're nearly going straight down the course. They have the most wind. They have the most speed at the moment. Here we go, the Oracle Clown. We're up into it. Wind speed, GBR, 8 kilometres an hour more wind, and that's turning into over 10, 12 kilometres an hour more boat speed. This manoeuvre is crucial, and the decision at gate number 4, the final turning gate, is going to be absolutely massive here. Can Quentin de la Pierre keep it calm? Oh, they've lost the runners on the British boat. Oh, they've just stayed foiling.
Emirates GBR's 5th final. This will be their 2nd win of the season, and it is Quentin de la Pierre now applying the pressure as the French look for their 1st win in season 5.
Pretty textbook there. Hey, Hannah, he's turned straight in front of Emirates GBR, but now he's got to make a decision. You'd want to have the decision. Lisa, which way are you turning at this final turning gate, left or right?
I think the left turn is actually quite strong, and then you want to be able to maneuver pretty quickly and then head all the way over to the other way where those boats are.
Okay, well, Quentin de la Pierre clearly heard that, takes the left turn. I anticipate surely the Bonds Flying Ruse will take a split here and roll the dice one more time. There he goes. Slingsby splits away.
Look for an opportunity on the beat.
Good patience by the British there. Quentin de la Pierre first to move away. Emirates Great Britain will push all the way to the boundary, and the Bonds Flying Ruse, well, has he seen something special with this turn?
See, this is hard for the French because you've got the 2 boats behind you going opposite ways, and on a day like today, you've got no control over what's happening to either of them. So really, really hard decision making, but they do look to be in really good pressure going nicely up the course at the moment.
Yeah, and I think as well, you know, in the positive sense, they've got themselves in a lot more wind, and you do get the first decision, like Lisa said on that first lap. At least you've got the first decision. They've made a very, very good decision so far. 200-metre gain for Les Bleus at the moment. This looks pretty strong. However, we've seen that the final 600 metres of this upwind leg can be crucial. Left-hand side of screen, there is good wind. Max Gauche, furthest left is what Kevin Pepinet's saying to Quentin de la Pierre there. One more manoeuvre coming. Will they stay on the foils?
Oh, they keep it dry.
They're so aggressive with their turns, so much more than a lot of the other boats, aren't they?
Well, Quentin does like to drive it like he stole it, there's no doubt about that. Now, he's setting up, GBR are going to come wider here. Will France be able to make the final turning mark with no more manoeuvres? Could be crucial. He's in good breeze, but the British are going to stretch wide against him here. Not much wind in front of the French, Todd.
So a big moment coming here in 200 meters. France has the lead. Emirates GBR in 2nd. There you see the Australians. They are the top of the course, and it all comes down to this. There you see the Emirates finish line in the distance. It's going to be 2 maneuvers now for the French.
This manoeuvre now is absolutely crucial. France needs to stay foiling. If he foils, I think he's going to take the final. Oh, that was beautifully done in not a lot of wind.
And they'll make this turn, and they will see the finish line in front of them. With the Bonds Flying Ruse and Emirates GBR closing down, will they have the speed? Can they take it to the line? Here we go. The race is on.
It's got to just stay foiling, Todd. They've got to stay over 33. I think they're foiling still. They're going to get it done, Todd.
Here we go. So the 3rd time is a charm. 3 finals, and now their 1st event win since season 3. Give the win in Sassnitz to the French.
Allez, les Bleus, gay! Oh, Quentin, what a weekend.
The Emirates winning moment goes to Team France. The Bonds Flying Ruse will finish in 2nd, and Emirates GBR will wrap up the top 3. Great week of racing by all 3 teams. But Stevie, you look at the teams that finished 1 and 2. France, after their moment on Friday with Quentin de la Pierre going through the driving wheel, we thought he might be done for the weekend. And then Emirates GBR with their collision, they're in the final, and they finish in 2nd.
Almost racing top here.
1 minute to the start of the finale here at the Rolex Switzerland Sail Grand Prix Geneva, part of the Rolex SailGP Championship, coming up in 50 seconds. So the Germans have put themselves into a good position. Here come the Swiss, come flying in, and late to the party will be the Bonds Flying Ruse, but Stevie, still plenty of time.
Here we go. So Germany have turned back quite early there, and I think the Australians are late in here. I like where the Swiss have manoeuvred. Swiss have manoeuvred well. What Slingsby got up his sleeve? He's going to need to cut the corner. Has he? Here he goes. Here comes the manoeuvre from Slingsby. Can the Swiss hook him? I think Slingsby's positioned perfectly. They line themselves up for the start. Right, Germany, you need to wind it up. You need to get going fast here, Eric, because you're late. Rolex pole predictor sits on board Slingsby and the Bonds Flying Ruse. Middle of the line's the favoured place to be, but it's all about execution and timing from here. Australia's off the foils. Deutsche Germany, Deutsche Bank are foiling fast. Go for the line now. It's go, go, go. No space at the top for the Swiss. Could be a protest at the top of the line there.
Umpires, early start penalty, Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland tried to force him. That's opened the door for Germany. Deutsche Bank, Eric Heil will lead at Mark 1. Massive lead for the Germans.
And for those broadcasters that need to leave us, you can get all the results on the SailGP social channels, as well as full coverage of this finale between the Swiss, Germany, Deutsche Bank, and the Bonds Flying Ruse, as it is all on here in Lake Geneva at the Rolex Switzerland Sail Grand Prix. Here we go. It is Germany, Deutsche Bank out in front at mark number 1. They are the Rolex sprint leaders. Switzerland trying to get back into the fight, and it is the Bonds Flying Ruse who will walk away with the 10 valuable season points. We are about to find out, but Mother Nature has filled in nicely. So for those of you leaving us, check on the internet. You'll get all the final results for Stevie Morrison, Hannah Diamond, Lisa Darmanin. I'm Todd Harris. The racing continues on here in Geneva. Who is going to walk away with the big title?
H2? No.
All right, so a great start at Mark 1, Stevie, and now look at this. This is what we've come to imagine.
Mistake by the Germans, Todd. They've fallen off the foils. It's light at the bottom right-hand side of our screen. Bonds Flying Ruse. Does that boat stay in the air? No, it doesn't. Oh, it's so light down in front. That's a let-off there. Had the Bonds Flying Ruse been able to foil, they could have had a chance to get back through it here, and we can see they're sailing nearly perpendicular to the course there. They need to get going straight down towards the gate. They're paralleling their way across those lines. Here we go. Biffle calls it, turning for the manoeuvre in here. This race is going to keep going though, Hannah. It's so gusty and shifty out there.
Yeah, it's by no means over. When there's so much more space on the course, you don't have that congestion which holds the middle of the fleet back. So it's definitely going to be about choosing the right mode. Do you invest in building speed and foiling, or do you sail around the course trying to sail the shortest distance?
Get it down, mate.
It looks like the Australians are going to try and sail a high course here, try and get to that 28 kilometers an hour and see if they can get on the foils, but the Swiss are coming past quick.
We are upwind here.
Yeah, it's tricky because the Swiss have got a penalty for sailing on the boundary, but the way the penalty works is it's relative to your VMG, so that's how fast you can make progress towards the next gate. And the trouble they've got is they're going so much faster than everyone else, they couldn't burn the penalty. But now the penalty's gone, and we can see the two boats right-hand side of the screen are foiling, so they're sailing a lot of extra distance, but Germany are stuck in the water. So it's, can Germany get back up on the foils? Look at the live speeds from the Oracle Cloud. 6 times as fast on the Australian boat as they are on the German boat. If the Australians can stay foiling, this distance will come down in the blink of an eye, but will the German team be able to get up and foiling again?
So the race is on to foil here in the finale. Will Australia be able to keep these speeds up? They're still on the foils right now, Stevie, and they are moving. Switzerland's behind them, but it is Germany, Deutsche Bank that have the lead. They've already gone through gate 2, the DP World Gate, and they have the lead. But look at the speed difference.
Well, he said, do we want to get foiling? I think you definitely want to get foiling if you can, but it's just a question, is there enough? Once you're foiling, Hannah, it's a lot easier to stay foiling than it is to get foiling. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, and you've got to choose the right spot for it. If you're sailing into less pressure, you might invest in getting up onto the foils and then immediately fall off. Or if you've got a manoeuvre coming up, like the Germans are coming close to that left-hand boundary now.
Here we go early here, eh? Good pressure.
Good pressure,
Slingsby wants to try and not follow. See, Draper's saying there's more wind to the bottom right-hand corner of our screen. Australia set to manoeuvre first. Germany will match that manoeuvre, but it's going to come down. Australia should be able to execute a better manoeuvre here. They glide through the turn. They're off the foils.
Happy for everyone.
Now it's a game of re-acceleration. 28's the number.
28, wait for it, Tommy.
So 28's That's the magic number. They're there. They should start foiling. Germany are still slow. The Bond's flying roofs. Oh, they're silky smooth in this light breeze at the moment, doing a masterful job after a very difficult start. Sailing a lot of extra distance, but they're sailing a lot faster. How's that breeze looking, Lisa?
They're starting to roll up now, buddy.
Patchy out here where Germany is right now. They're in a good gust, so I'm expecting them to pop on the foils, but it's really coming down to these maneuvers out here. I do think that this rain has come in and made it more patchy. Right now, Germany might just hold on.
Right turn here.
And we are about to find out here. A big moment as they approach gate number 3. Remember, it's just a 4-leg race, so through gate number 3 and then off to the finish line. And we've got about a 66% chance of a first here at SailGP. Germany has never won an event. Switzerland has never won an event. The Bond's flying roofs, well, they've won plenty.
Here we go. They've just got one more good manoeuvre to do on board that German boat. Lisa was right. There was more wind on the German side of the course. They got foiling. They minimised the distance. Now they're heading downwind towards the finish. They're on to the final leg. They need one more good manoeuvre to make history in Season 5 of SailGP on that German boat. There will be a split though, Todd. Australia are going to roll the dice and take a left turn, but Germany, it's in their hands right now. Execute this manoeuvre, take the prize.
Yeah, they didn't quite land their last jibe, so they'll be trying to work out how they can choreograph themselves a bit better. Making sure they're manoeuvring in pressure is really important as well.
Here we go, watch this.
Angle. Yes, I will.
Oh, Stevie, I think they've got it.
Pretty perfect.
Stayed straight for the build, Eric.
They sound calm on board. They're still focused on the right things, but that finish line's going to come fast and they're foiling. There you go. Where's the mark? That's the most important thing to know. Straight ahead's a great thing to hear.
Straight for it.
It's finished.
100 meters to go here, and it will be official, and it will be a first. Welcome to the winner's circle. The Emirates winning moment goes to the first-time winners at SailGP. Germany, take a bow.
Get in there! Get in there!
Only 3 athletes on board, Stevie, but that's all they needed.
Well, they'll be celebrating in Germany, though, won't they? We know what a big fan base SailGP's got over in Germany, and there'll be huge celebration. Eric Heil, a little bit of emotion there. Nice to see. What a result for the Germans. It's been coming. They've been knocking on the door since Sassnitz. Great result for the Australians. Yeah, a bit gutting for them, I'm sure. They just didn't get the start they needed.
Well, the one thing that might put a smile on the face of Tom Slingsby is that the Kiwis didn't make it into the final. So they're going to pick up some points in the overall on the black foils as the Aussies do make it into the final. So they will pick up the 9 points on the season. And a great run for Switzerland and Sebastian. They just did a great job, Stevie, across the weekend.
They did a fantastic job. I mean, they got a bit out of shape in that pre-start. They perhaps had a better shot at it than they had executed. So they'll be disappointed. They ended up forcing in front of the fans. But yeah, they're going to be happy with the top 3.
And if you're a Swiss fan of Swiss sailing, you came up for the weekend, how excited you are for this. They're in the final.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect showing from the Swiss team on the right weekend, that's for sure. And after the disappointment of reaching the final in Portsmouth and not being able to finish that race, they'll be super happy with that, I'm sure.
So the celebration can now begin as Germany Deutsche Bank, they win event number 10, the Rolex Switzerland Sail Grand Prix Geneva.
Anyone that's ahead at Mark 1 is probably going to take a lot of beating and getting past this. You know, it's going to come down to this trigger at the gun and getting that speed right. But there is more space on the course, as Lisa said. That just means there's more options for all the crews. You can get the space to be fast.
1 minute to go until we start the event final. Let's break it down for you like this. Emirates GBR have won 2 events this year. The Black Foils of New Zealand, they have won 2 events this year. Germany Deutsche Bank won the last event. They are looking for their 2nd event this year.
Yeah, I mean, all this quality, there's quality out here in this start, that's for sure. 2 of these boats look pretty well set to be in the grand final, so they'll be enjoying the chance of a dress rehearsal. First team to manoeuvre back will probably be the Black Foils here. They're all a little late turning back with 30 seconds to go, so it's going to be a long run-up start. High speed, wind-ups. Looks like Emirates GBR want to be at the downwind end on the inside. Plenty of space between the boats. Oh, the British are outside the boundary. They're going to need to start behind the other boats here. That's a disaster. Germany with a lot of space. He will be able to wind it up. All the boats are coming back at the line fast. Black Foils look well positioned to me. It's all about the line. That'll be to the right-hand side of the screen and that turning white. Black Foils are going to be gun time, but it's going to be fast on Deutsche Germany. Oh, they were all late there, Todd, but the black foils were less late than the others. They're on the inside. They've got a big advantage. That penalty will leave Emirates GBR, but they're going to be third with a lot of work to do at Mark 1.
And as they approach mark number 1, it's the black foils that are pushing Germany Deutsche Bank wide. Meanwhile, Emirates GBR is saying thank you very much as they approach mark 1. Do they have the speed, though, to get underneath the Kiwis?
Yeah, brilliant by the Kiwis there. What they've tried to do is just open it up so they're just ahead of the British, but heading downwind already, and then tangle the Germans and the British up into a bit of a fight. They maybe slightly overdid it, but you see the British and the Germans are going to end up in a bit of a private battle. First to manoeuvre Emirates GBR. They'll be following the black foils, and it's going to come down to executing a good manoeuvre here.
Rolex Sprint Leader, that award goes the way of the Kiwis. A masterful job by Pete Burley, and as he just timed it perfectly and then made life difficult for Germany Deutsche Bank and Eric Kostgarten Heil.
Might have slightly overdone it. He's given the door a little bit of a hint of opening over the British here, and he's going to manoeuvre away at the bottom. There will be a split. I think Burling was perhaps a little bit too greedy on that first leg, but they lead at gate 2. There's a split, so it's going to be who finds the most breeze on this downwind leg, upwind leg.
When we want to find breeze, we check in down on the water with Lisa Darman. And Lisa, who made the right call right there? Do you like the position of the Brits or the Kiwis?
I really like the position of the Brits. I think with later in the day, under that seawall, has looked really dangerous. The British, they've also probably been sailing better all day as well. I think they're more locked in these conditions.
So the Germans are in third. It is Emirates GBR in front. The next crossing handle will obviously be critical to see who's made what gains.
Yeah, really critical. We've seen there's been quite big gains and losses out of this bottom end of the course, but something to note as well, they've dropped down to 4 people on board. So the strategists who were at the back of the boat are now forwards, grinding, providing the power for the wing. So it's the team that adapts the quickest who's going to have an advantage.
Advantage Emirates GBR here, Todd. They have the right of way, and they've definitely made a slight gain by taking that left turn. The Kiwis have done an extra manoeuvre at this point in the race than the British. So it was a little bit too aggressive from Burling, I feel, on that first leg. And he could go all the way back to third here. Emirates GBR now, clear breeze. They have command of the decision-making here. They can get first pick at the fruit on the tree. And it's going to be interesting to see which ones they take. They've got a big lead. And if they can keep it safe from here, they've got a good chance to extend.
Oh, you saw the boat rocking just a little bit there, Hannah. That's obviously from the sea state that they've been fighting all day.
Yeah, and the sea state tends to pick up as the breeze settles in for a little bit more. So whereas at the beginning of the day it was slightly flatter, but the teams will be getting used to it by now, and the space on the course means that it should be a little bit less disturbed for them.
So the fans that made the trip from the UK very happy to see right now that Emirates GBR is out in front. But did they do enough here? Did they make the right call? Look at the speed on the mast of the black foils, tipping now 34 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, and the British just had a little touchdown in that manoeuvre. They did a great job of saying it right of way with the black foils. Looks like it's favoured to the left turn, distance to sail-wise, which would mean one more manoeuvre for the British. And right of way with the black foils. Will the British try and shut the door on the black foils here? That's what we're going to find out. Could be another split at the top of the course.
So they're already talking about the final leg.
Yeah, well, because of the geometry of the manoeuvres around the course, you'll want to know, do I want to take this mark and make a small loss now to set myself up better for that left turn at the bottom of the course? If the British can get the left turn at the bottom with 2 manoeuvres, I think that's the advantage they're looking for, and they've got a good lead here. They've got that advantage, and I think they should be able to make it stick when they get the advantage of right of way coming back towards the Kiwis. Ooh, that's high.
Left on early, little light on, stand by. Yep. I got it.
It looks like maybe a game for the black foils here, Todd. The breeze is so packed. A huge game for the black foils. They just sailed less distance upwind, less distance downwind. Massive gain there for the black foils. Burling's found a little bit of magic at the top of the course, and it's now going to be, what do they choose? Can they lock down the race? Both boats heading different directions at the moment. They're out of phase as they head down towards gate number 4. The black foils will desperately want to get themselves in front of Emirates GBR and on the same tack.
Well, Pete Burley and the black foils in New Zealand were locked out of the top 5 at the last event in Geneva in light winds, and they are making amends for that here right now as they get their sights set on the finish line here in Cádiz, and then the big prize next month in Abu Dhabi.
I kind of feel like left turn at the bottom's the move here. We saw a big gain to Emirates GBR. Might be a dynamic situation. Lisa, is it still looking good for that left turn at the bottom?
I think it is, but I think the real difference here is Emirates Great Britain just look a little bit more wobbly in their manoeuvres, so they had a little touchdown. The real question is, can they turn left and just do one more manoeuvre to mark one? Whereas the New Zealand team turning right, they will have to do two.
And our apologies if your broadcast feed is glitching. Some on-site RF interference in Cádiz, not part of SailGP, but the local area, massive amount of external interference. But the racing goes on. Here we go, is leg 4 of 6. It'll be up to the next gate and a left-hand turn to the finish line. Will it be the Kiwis or will it be the Brits that take top honors here in Spain?
The Kiwis are going to want to come in really quite close to that final mark where they'll have the right of way. Emirates GBR are going to want to get to the ley line and be fast. So there's a few questions we'll find out in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, we have seen this already before with Emirates GBR taking a left turn, Blackfall's taking a right turn. Emirates GBR opting for one less manoeuvre, but the Kiwis did manage to come back and just make it inside for that left turn at the top. So it's going to be really close.
Kiwis are foiling already up there. Our ladder lines show it as a slight advantage to Emirates GBR, but their manoeuvres to come, and the manoeuvres do cost you about 100 metres each time you turn the boat here. It looks like advantage to the Blackfalls, but they've got one more manoeuvre to do themselves.
Inside the zone.
Yeah, that's the zone on this final turning mark. If the Kiwis are on the inside of it, they'll have the right of way. If not, Emirates GBR have right of way. Look at Fletcher leaning over the side of the boat, willing it on.
And here we go, the moment of the match. It is the Kiwis that pull right in front of the Brits.
Oh, he's going to try and get underneath them, and Hush come here. The Kiwis have got to keep not overlap. They've got the right of way on Emirates GBR. The Blackfoils must keep clear. Aggressive from Fletcher. Here we go. He's going to wind the Kiwis up. They're going to glide through. What a move by the British. Absolute clutch moment in the race. And Emirates GBR are going to get it done on the line, I think.
At the final gate, Dylan Fletcher goes full Air Jordan as he dips underneath the Kiwis and puts himself in a winning position here in Spain.
Oh, if that's a dress rehearsal for Abu Dhabi, what a move that was. Oh, and the Germans, they're up and foiling. They could move through to second here. The Blackfoils need to accelerate, and they need to accelerate fast.
And they will cross the line with a victory in Spain. Give it up for Emirates GBR.
Fletcher completely on his instincts there. Absolute instincts.
I'll tell you what, that is a gutsy move on the Atlantic Ocean as the Brits come to Spain and claim top prize.